All right, boys. So we just this is my buddy Josh. I actually met him at a party. What, 2 weeks ago? Week and a half ago?
A week ago.
So
sometime around then.
He's my buddy officially now. He's a part of like the YouTube persona, right? So we were just talking about a bunch of like stories, and he's like, I have a bunch of bus stories because you take the bus a lot, right?
Every single day of my life, yeah.
So we were at lunch, and he had one like literally today. So this is probably gonna be like a series on the channel, just
could be
bus stories with Zach and Josh.
Happens basically at least once a week.
So yeah, dude, take the reins. What happened? No. What happened today?
Well, I was telling you, right? So it's not the most exciting thing that's ever happened to me, but yeah. So I'm on the bus as I am. I'm just have my headphones in, kind of bopping, and this guy walks into the bus, off of Walmart, and he has 2 plastic bags, and you can see through Walmart bags because they're plastic. And I don't usually look at what people are shopping for, but this guy
got your eye.
So he is in, and he's like obviously struggling, like he's kind of huffing, and so the lady pulls the bus down so he can get into it, right? The bus.
You could pull the bus down.
Not pull the bus, like the bus deflated, right? Okay. Or did whatever it is because it's one of those rising things. Anyways, this guy gets on. He's like, and he very, very heavily puts these 2 bags down, and so I'm looking in, and there's like a bunch of round things in this bag, right?
Okay.
And I was pretty sure like he just had 2 bags full of just apples. Like they're just apples.
Okay.
I'm just like, I didn't know what to think. Like I was looking at him for so long.
Yeah.
Just like trying to figure out if they were actually apples inside the bag. And I think like because like the structure of them and kind of the way they were placed inside was apple-like. And I just don't understand. Yeah, like why. It's those like math questions, and they're like, this guy dies like 20 apples.
Like if Jimmy has 47 apples and he's on the bus and he's traveling at 14 miles an hour, calculate the mass of the sun?
Yeah, and you're like, this never happens. But this guy was straight out of like your grade 10 math textbook. He was like, calculate the volume of the apples in the bag, given the dimensions,
given the area and the perimeter and like,
all this like obscure stuff. It was so.
So, like, let's come up with some theories. What do you think he was gonna... See, my theory is, like, he has, like, a daughter. And and the daughter loves making... like, I don't know if you know if you did this in elementary school. Like, they, like, carve apples, and they made, like, apple dolls.
I never did that. No, I haven't.
Okay, but it's just, like, a weird, like a weird white person thing.
Maybe. I have no idea.
Because, like, my sister was so into doing that, and it was so creepy. It's worse than having, like, a doll collection. Because it was like the apples would rot.
But yeah, I feel.
And they would be like brown and like they'd be like in her dresser or on her bookshelf, just like rotten apples. And like you would like put clothes. It was like really weird actually now that I'm thinking about it.
That's how you get ants. Like that's.
Oh, for sure. Her room was probably just riddled in bugs.
That's
like
really
A Bug's
weird.
Life was definitely filmed in her fucking room.
They just zoomed all the way and were like, let's see what these guys are doing.
They're like, oh shit, they're there.
I feel like he definitely owns like a pie store. And he just
he's just like, macking apple pies?
Yeah, he just had like a mass order for apple pies. And he was like, shit, we gotta...
Or he just lives
really have to go...
Or he lives somewhere up in the country where he's just like, those are his targets. And he has like, a rifle that he's just like... just blowing up all these apples.
I don't understand how much stuff he had. Because like every now and then, like, people get on the bus... with like a lot of grocery bags, right? Which makes sense. Like they've gone grocery shopping, they need to bring it somewhere. Like I don't drive, so like I understand needing to take the bus, right?
Yeah.
But like just up 2 bags of apples, is just like
it's a weird cargo. It's a weird cargo to have.
You see a lot of stuff.
I was gonna say
public transit.
Just like transition to another one when we were at a res party, and you were saying how I don't know. There's like certain people that go on the bus that are just like. You're just so far gone.
Yeah,
and you're just like, oh no, there was one that like a guy was like staring at an old couple or something like that, or the guy was just so far gone.
Well, he was staring at everything. To be honest, like there were 2 guys who were definitely on something.
Right.
Now this guy I think happened. It was the day we met that morning.
Oh, was that okay?
Yeah, it was that morning, and this guy, I think. He got on the bus because it was in Oshawa. Like this only happens when people get on the bus in Oshawa, right? So it's a very Oshawa-centric
if you don't know.
thing. Do they know you? I mean, I guess.
No, I'm saying Oshawa's a fun place. Come and visit.
Oshawa's a great place. Anywhere near the university, like someone gets on the bus and something's bound to happen. Yeah. Now, usually, like the 11 p.m. buses going from the school back to my house.
Okay.
has a few drunk people who get on it, and it's fine. Like they're usually pretty chill.
Yeah.
But this guy was next level, definitely on multiple substances at once, and so like he gets on and he's stumbling. So I just thought, okay, maybe he walks funny, like because sometimes people
might have a limp.
Yeah, might have a
bad
limp,
knee.
but
yeah.
And so he goes, and I'm just kind of watching because he sits basically not beside me, but across the aisle, right?
Right.
And I notice him, like, he takes a sip of something and, like, starts to choke. And, like, so he's coughing, right?
Okay.
And I just see, like, this orangey substance, like, dripping off of his chin, right? And I'm
and
like...
it's not like orange soda.
It's not orange soda.
Not orange
so
soda
I was wondering, because then people started coming on the bus, right? And there was this black girl came on the bus with, like, really, really purple hair, right? Okay. And so this guy looks at him, and he goes, like... Well, I like your hair, like in a very, very slurred.
No, I like your hair.
I like your hair, and then she was like kind of visibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And it was like, because this guy is not like our age, like he's like a 40-year-old man, like he's balding on the top.
Okay.
Like
he's got the chrome dome up there.
Yeah, he's got the chrome dome, like very, very creepy vibes. Yeah. And so she's like, thanks. And then he started like talking to himself at the same time. He was like, I just like to.
Big red
he was
flag.
like, yeah. He's like, I just like to be nice to people. And he's just going off of how nice he likes to be to people. But no one, like, he's not talking to anyone anymore at this point.
Just talking to his knee.
So,
yeah, like I don't like just to be nice to people.
I just enjoy. And he's like going, and he's like, he would sit in his seat and like across the lane, like or the aisle in the bus.
Or he would
just
swerve.
Like, just like swerve his body into the very, very odd man. And so like I was starting to think something was up, like maybe he was on crack, because I'm pretty sure like Oshawa was just really good at getting people on crack. And
yeah,
few people. A side story I told you, but I was at the bus stop by the Oshawa Center one day with Cam. And it was late. The Oshawa Center was closing. We were waiting for the 9:10 to bring us back to the university. Okay. And this guy is in a bus stop, or in like one of the little shelters. Yeah. And he's turned around, so he's not facing outwards. He's
facing the wall.
Facing the wall of the bus stop, like out. So it's still glass, right? Just the opposite way of which you would usually sit.
Yeah.
And he's just having a conversation, and like kind of making moaning sounds just to his reflection. And so I was like, yeah.
Well, he's like,
yeah, he was ah, like, what the hello?
It's like a cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
he just, like a cat, like a human, he was doing all sorts of things. But like back to this, so I thought that's what happened. But then this guy, so he had a backpack with him, right? So he was going to the university, and he puts his backpack down and he opens it up. And so I look, and you can see he has stuffed like a 6-pack into his backpack. And so he takes another one out, and he cracks it open. I'm like, sir, shouldn't you be...
Can you do that on a bus? I don't think you can drink in public.
I don't think you can, but I don't think the bus driver really noticed.
Yeah.
You definitely can't, like, drink in public. And so...
Oh, you're...
Yeah. Like, he just starts sipping another one. I'm like, I don't think this is healthy for you to take another one. Like, you're clearly already...
You've reached your limit, buddy.
Yeah, but he's like, he was dedicated, because we got to the school and he got off the bus and started walking to class is the only thing I can assume. But like, so I walk
in. It's like a prof.
Yeah, like I don't know who this guy is. I walk in and I pass the security desk. I'm like, I don't know if I should tell these guys that there's a man who was clearly just out of it on hand. I ended up just not. Yeah. Because I was like, I don't know what this man's situation is.
They're gonna have to track him. He could have just been like chilling.
He could have been chilling.
Yeah.
He could have
been smoking weed.
Possibility he wasn't drunk. He was just having a good time.
That's very true.
But I doubt it. I don't because when we were getting off of the bus, like he stood up, right? And buses are hard to stand, so he's grabbing like the pole on the bus, right? The bus stops and this man is already stumbling and the bus is like not moving and he
starts tripping.
Yeah, he's just like
throwing ones at him.
Yeah, man. And like bus comes in, bus stops. And he flings himself like across and goes directly into this girl who's
purple
like
hair
behind
girl?
him. No,
okay.
Not purple hair girl. She's safely seated far away.
She realized the situation. This guy complimented me drunk. I'm going over here.
She was like, I'm going as far away from this man as I can. Yeah. And it's like this guy goes into this other person and like he is like just embarrassed, obviously, and very, very apologetic, but apologetic at the same time, still stumbling. So like he's stumbling into her as he's apologizing. So he just like stacks the apologies now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh shit. Oh, you have very nice nails.
Yeah, he was like, he just couldn't stop. He couldn't stop himself. But like, I don't know. You run into some you get some interesting stuff.
I was gonna say that was like, that was just today, and then another one from last week.
Yeah, it happens.
Like, I couldn't even come up, like, I do work stories. I couldn't even come up, like, it's hard now to come up with, like, to good ones that, like, people, like, because it's, like, crazy customers that come in. Mm-hmm. But you have, like, a filtration of people that come on the bus. You can just, like, okay, I might make a video about you, and you.
Yeah, like, there's... It makes for an interesting life. Like, you can definitely tell people's stories kind of on a daily, because most of the time I get my stories from when I work at camp, and I just kind of spread them out across the year, so I can keep the people entertained. But the bus system gives me another
nice
layer of like extra to just kind of sprinkle in there, right?
Yeah.
And then whenever I go to Toronto, is just now that's just a gold mine of
bus stories from Toronto.
Like when I like take the train to Toronto, or like just walking around in Toronto sometimes, because like whenever I go kind of late at night, because I go to some game dev networking events that take place there. And so they end later, right? Like at 11, 12 a.m. or not 11 a.m., 11 p.m. and 12 a.m.
It's late night.
Yeah, like you know, like get
game dev. They really party it up.
They really like to have events at the worst times, because like then I have to leave the house a couple of hours before it happens, so I can get there, and I get down there and hang out. But sometimes game dev events kind of just coincide with sports games or something.
So Leaf games.
You get some drunk Leaf fans, and that's when stuff gets really fun.
Like I'll tell you really quick. So me and Maddie went to the Leaf game when they were facing Boston when they were still in the playoffs, and there's a guy, and he was like, I guess he just thought he was a parkour master, and he was just jumping on the chain link fences. He's like, yo, what's this? And he's just like on the chain link fence, and then he just falls off, and now he's on the ground. He's flopping like a jellyfish. Then he's like, and I was laughing, and he's like, yo, you think that's funny? You think that's funny? And then he didn't notice, like, you know those like giant cinder blocks that are just in the sidewalk for whatever reason. He's like, think that's funny? You think that's what? And he trips on it. He like bends his back like so far back, like he's an Olympic gymnast, and he just falls on the ground. And now there's like a group of like 30 people all pissing themselves, like laughing so hard, and I'm crying. And Maddie's like, okay, let's go. I'm like, this dude's just so belligerently drunk, and he just made a fool of himself.
Did he give up? Like, did he think when he failed at the parkour, was he like, do you think that's funny, and then like replicated his failure, or do you think he was trying to do it again?
No, yeah, he just tripped over the cinder block, and then he was like walking backwards, and then he flopped back onto it, and then it was just like, oh man.
So he wasn't trying to. He was trying to prove himself.
He was trying to prove himself again, and but
he just failed. Yeah. No, my only. I think I told you at the party, but like there was this one guy, and for whatever reason, the McDonald's at Union closed early that day.
Okay. That's weird.
And so McDonald's is closed, and I'm trying to get home, and this guy is a very, very drunk man. He's very wholesome. Like, he was a wholesome drunk, right?
I love the happy drunks.
Yeah, happy drunks are so funny. The best. And so he's there, right? And he's just circling around Union. Anyone he can find, he's like, so what do you feel about a McDonald's closing early? Right? He's like surveying them, right? And he's just like,
this is horse shit.
Yeah. He was like, why is it closed? Like, I needed my burgers, dude. Like, I'm drunk. Like, I need food.
Yeah, I need food to absorb all this alcohol.
And so I'm just watching him talk to everyone, right? And he hasn't approached me yet, right?
But you know it's coming.
But I know it's coming.
Yeah.
Because I go up the stairs, and so I'm holding the door open to the platform for some people, and he's passing by, talking to people. He hasn't talked to me yet. Train comes in, I get on one of the cars, and he goes on another car. And then a little while later, I start hearing his voice again, right? And he's just
getting louder,
going across. He's just going across like the entire car, like basically the whole train. He's like, "How do you feel about McDonald's closing early?"
Like,
right?
I don't know. I'm a Burger King guy. Like, imagine just saying that.
He's asking everyone he sees sitting down. He comes up to me and he's like, "Hey man, what's going on?" So I'm taking my earbuds out. I'm like, "Yeah, what's up?"
What's up, man?
He's like, "Oh, how do you feel about McDonald's closing?" I'm like, "Oh, it sucks, man." Like,
because you have to agree.
Yeah,
with them,
you have
then they'll
to
be
agree.
like, and you have. I think we were saying this too at the party. Like, you have to like say short bursts of sentences. You're like, that sucks, dude. And like you have to say it. And you're like, I know. Like kids had to make them understand.
I wasn't gonna tell him, that I had no intention of buying McDonald's that night.
Yeah.
But he wanted to know.
Right.
Like, he had to know how people felt about McDonald's closing early. And he shook my hand. He like did a little greeting.
A little dab up.
A little dab. And he was
Nice.
like, "Hey man, how you doing?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm doing great." And he's like, "How do you feel McDonald's closing early?" I'm like, "It sucks.
Sucks,
like,
dude.
How am I can't get any food now? Like this is ridiculous." He's like,
Yeah.
"I know, man." He's like,
That's exactly what he wanted to. Moving on to the next
yeah.
person.
He's like, "All right, have a good day." And I'm like, "Sweet." And he goes up and this older couple is like directly behind me. And they're like literally like 7 years old.
Yeah.
This guy is like 25 maybe.
Oh,
He goes up.
no.
He's like, "Hey, what's going on?" This
Yo, what's up, Big Pops?
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Mama?
This couple is they're just living their life. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, what's going on?" And he was like, "How do you feel McDonald's closing early?"
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's tragic.
They handled it pretty well, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like they really
they've got
bonded with that guy. Yeah,
God.
it was a good time. Like because sometimes you get to Union and there's like people who are just loud and angry drunks, right? And you kind of
Yeah.
like move away. But this guy, I was like, yeah,
It was a happy drunk.
conversation, like about McDonald's closing early.
Jesus. Dude, this was fun. I don't know.
Yeah, it was
I don't
a
even
good
know how
time.
long this was. It was probably a little bit too long, but that's fine. Dude, I want to have you on
segmented.
Yeah. You know what? It was definitely segmented. So yeah, this is just this is Josh. If you guys want to follow him on Instagram, I'll leave it in the link below. Do you have an Instagram?
I have an Instagram.
And you have a Twitter. So yeah, I'll put it in there.
My Twitter is a meme fest. It's pretty good.
Is it just a meme account? All right.
It's
People
not
love
just memes, but it's just my. I don't know,
It's a
thoughts
living
throughout the day,
meme.
and it's just like, yeah, this is stupid, and this is something that happened.
Yeah, you just tweet about it.
I just tweet about it.
Not a big Twitter guy, but yeah, dude, follow him everywhere.
is-
But no, boys, thanks for watching. We'll definitely have you on again. Like this was actually fun.
It was fun. It was fun.
actually
I
had a
like
good time.
I have
Just
lots
swap
of
stories.
stories.
Dude, I know I'm filtering. I feel like I like making videos with like other people because I love listening to their stories.
Yeah, it's
and
a
just
good time.
having a good time. All right, boys. So yeah, I don't know, subscribe and do all that weird shit. But yeah, follow him and yeah, thanks for watching.
Yeah.
All right. See ya.